Bang, bang! What's going on, guys? This is the main event on Talkin Hands. As always, I'm your host, Preston, joined by Mr. Danny Betts right here. We're to break down this Saturday's pay-per-view. That's right, it's a pay-per-view main event between Tank Davis taking on Rolando Romero. Huge fight. But before that, we're going to recap last week's fights, which after I saw the weigh-in, I was not surprised that Benavidez wiped out Lemieux. We'll go to that. David Benavidez knocks out David Lemieux round 3. Really got him out of there damn near round 1. He was on him the whole time. Lemieux never clinched up, and Benavidez just looked like a tank, 168. I know after he talked about, I think he wanted Canelo and Charlo, I believe. He was talking about both those guys. I don't know if that would happen, but David Benavidez looked good. Danny, what were your thoughts?
Dude, he looked great, man. I had the bet over 4.5 rounds. That first round, I'm like, oh, this is gonna be a quick fight, man. But Lemieux was doing good in the first round. He was looking sharp. He was, he went inside real quick. He went inside, he swung away, and shout out to Lemieux because, like, even though he was getting hurt, he was still going in there swinging, bro. Like he got a heart of a lion, and the only reason they stopped the fight, is because they threw in the towel because he was getting smacked around. But Benavidez looks so sharp with his counters, his jab, just everything looks so crispy to me, man.
Yeah, he looked great. What really, it didn't shock me, but like you said, like almost the combinations in the corner when he lets those like uppercuts go, it's night for a lot of boxers. And his height, his size, he looked really good. Very impressive win for Benavidez. I thought, I mean, we talked about it. There was no way that fight was going to decision.
No.
Obviously, yeah.
Yeah, I was just gonna say they're both hittable and they have a lot of power, but I thought I could squeak out a little over on that fight. But man, Benavidez just took care of him real quick.
Yeah, it was very impressive. We got Sharpie in the chat. I don't know if I'll meet the mother, but we'll see.
Sharpie. I'll try to get that sponsorship. We'll see.
Yeah, that'd be a big one, Danny. I mean, you're not home, right? You're in the hotel, right?
No, I'm at home. We got.
Oh, you got
morning.
back. Okay, yeah. You got back. Okay. I was gonna say you took the kids to Universal, so yeah. There we go. Nick in the chat, Alex Rodriguez, and MMA Locker Room. Alex said he lost his UFC winnings on that fight. Alex, what'd you take? Because Benavidez was a lock.
Yeah, I wanted to see what your bet was. He probably had the over like me, man. That's why I only did like a put like a unit on it. No, I put 2 units actually, but
I mean it was 12-round fight, 4.5. Like
right.
I wouldn't hate that bet any other day. It was just Benavidez came to show out and he showed out. Oh, he had over 4.5, he said.
Yep.
Yeah, it was a very impressive performance by Benavidez. Where do you think he's going to go from here, or think he's going to get one of these big fights?
Like you were saying, man, he was calling out everybody after that fight. He said, I forgot exact words he used, but he was saying like no matter who I fight, like Charlo, Canelo, any of those guys, he said he'll stop all of them. I like that. I like his confidence for sure, but I'm not sure. I mean, if I'm him, I'm trying to look for one of those big fights. I doubt he gets Canelo, obviously, because he's fighting Triple G. Charlo, I doubt. So we'll see.
To me, and I don't know what it is if people don't want to fight him, but Andrade, I thought maybe that fight would make sense because he doesn't really get a lot of big fights.
Well, now he's hurt.
Yeah.
He's hurt, and he's going to be out for, like 3 to 5 months or something like that with his shoulder.
Yeah, so maybe that's not plausible. I would take Benavidez over Charlo, but I actually think Canelo would probably knock him out. Just the way he fights, I think Canelo would have a very good chance against him compared to what occurred with Bivol. Speaking of Canelo, we can move right along. Huge announcement today. They made it official. Canelo versus Triple G3, the trilogy. Pay-per-view fight, DAZN pay-per-view. No venue yet. I'm thinking Vegas. That would be, the assumption. And it's going to be on the Mexican Independence Day weekend, which Canelo has some familiarity with. And they wanted the fight. Well, I think it was almost signed that they had to do the fight. So they got the fight. Canelo says after this fight, I'm assuming win, because if he loses, who knows what will happen. He wants the rematch with Bivol. But what are your thoughts with that one?
I mean, we knew this fight was coming up. They signed the contract. He had a 2-fight contract, one with Bivol and then the other one with the trilogy with Triple G. So I'm not surprised at all. I'm just happy it's like official. But I'm excited for that one. I mean, I think like Triple G still has his power, but you could tell, one thing about Father Time is he's undefeated, and you could tell he's slowing down a bit. So I think actually Canelo could stop him late. But we'll see. I don't know. We'll make our predictions later on when that fight is official.
Yeah. Would you like to guess what the odds are? Do you know the odds?
I don't know the odds.
Okay. Would you take a guess?
I say Canelo's a favorite, like minus 550.
Yeah, it's not bad. Yeah, minus 425.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, that's not bad. I think Canelo is a fairly safe pick. Triple G, he's just slower. Like, he's so much slower. Yeah. Even though I arguably thought he won the first fight, I thought he won. The second fight, I thought draw. They gave it to Canelo. The second fight was closer, but that was 3-4 years ago, and Canelo's been so active facing the top fighters, and Triple G, who did he just beat? Murata, right?
Murata, yeah, in Japan or China, or whatever.
Yeah, over in Japan. So he just knocked him out. So I think this is a huge step down for Canelo, huge step up for Triple G.
And then coming off a loss, Canelo's gonna be, he's gonna try to make a statement. I think, but
yeah, I would favor Canelo by KO for sure in that one. And if you guys want to bet that or the next fight that we're going to talk about in the main event, go to mybookie.ag, hit that promo code PUBSPORTS, get your 100% deposit bonus match up to $1,000. Use the Bitcoin, get that 100%. You do debit or credit, you get 50%. Put in 1,000, get 1,000, or 500 for 1,000. mybookie.ag, promo code PUBSPORTS. Now we go on to the topic of this week, the main event. We got Gervonta Tank Davis taking on Rolando Romero. This fight was supposed to happen in December. Some sexual assault claims came at Romero. He wasn't able to do the fight. Those got dismissed. It's happening now. Last fight on Tank's contract with Mayweather Promotions. Romero's a Mayweather guy. I think we know who Mayweather wants to win. I don't, we'll see what happens. But so, Danny, go ahead. What are your thoughts on this big main event?
Shout out to everybody in the chat, man. We got Mills, we got Addicts, Big Show, of course, Nick, Sharpie. I mean, I'll tell you this, the press conferences and interviews and stuff like that has been entertaining. It's pretty funny to me. Romero's a funny character, bro. And he's actually, I think he's got to Tank's head a little bit, because Tank don't usually talk all like that. He's pretty calm, pretty chill. But you could tell Romero's hitting the nerve somehow. And I do something like you were saying, like this is Tank's last fight on his contract with Mayweather. I think that has something to do with this fight, because in my opinion, I think Tank Davis is gonna show out in this fight, become a free agent after this fight. And obviously he's gonna go for the knockout. All his fights are almost all knockouts. I just don't think Romero's the guy to like upset Tank, in my opinion. He's got the size. He's a bigger guy, and he looks in great shape, by the way, too. But the skills, like, he doesn't have much footwork or like that. His head movement is not that great. He leaves his chin up there after every combination. If you really look at his, he's got a good left hook. I give him that. And one thing I noticed in his like training videos, he's been like grabbing a lot. He's been like the guy that he trains with is throwing a lot of straights or uppercuts, and then he's like pawing his gloves and stuff like that. Which I think that's a good tactic for against like Tank, because Tank likes doing that. He likes pawing your jab, try to go overhand, and then set up the left with his uppercut. But I think Tank stops him mid rounds. I'll give you my best bet later on, but I think he gets the KO in this one.
Yeah, then we got Mills MMA locker room in the chat saying, I heard Tank Davis has fake lips, collagen shots, Botox. Have you heard that? I have not. Tank Davis does have a weird look to him. I'll give you that. But I hate pretty much everything about Gervonta Tank Davis. That's just me, though. I like that look, Alex. Look for a point deduction.
Yes, I like that because Romero's, he's pretty dirty. I mean, and I think he's got to make this fight dirty.
Yeah, he pretty much just mugs people in the ring. Yeah, he uses like his elbows. Yeah, he does a lot of pushing and shoving. Currently, the odds, mybookie.ag, promo code PUBSPORTS. Tank Davis is minus 880. Rolando Romero is plus 630. Tank by KO minus 400. And the round prop is 5.5, minus 110 to the over, minus 110 to the under. And when I watched more footage of Romero, and this is even besides the guys who's fighting, this is just such a huge step up in competition. It's his boxing ability, his footwork is atrocious.
It's bad, bro.
It is awful. Like any guy, like God forbid he wins this fight, you put him in there with a Devin Haney, if Stevenson could, which he can move up because he's still very young. I mean, they would clean this guy's clock fairly easily. Sure. I think Tank actually puts it on him pretty bad. Probably the first 3 rounds, it'll be like a mugging type fight, like not pleasing to watch. And then eventually Tank's going to get the timing. That left hook's going to land. That left hand's going to land. Because Romero, when he knocks these guys out, he's throwing looping punches.
Especially that left. I know that's his power shot, but like, oh my God, dude, it's so looping.
Yeah, and I mean, he's facing carpenters, steel mill workers. Like, these guys can't, come on. Like watching the tape, I'm like, this is nothing. So I think Tank really, really gets him out of there. The only worry I have, but Tank already showed it against Barrios, find the bigger guy, is Romero just trying to bully him in the ring, push him against the ropes, rabbit punch him, bring him inside, and then frustrate Tank to the point of a disqualification or something, which could happen because he is in his ear, egging him on. Tank's getting, pissed off. But I think he'll have his cool, and I think Tank's going to get the knockout. I really do.
Yeah, dude, like, that's the thing. For me, like, to beat Tank, you got to be able to box from the outside and go to the inside. Like we saw with Barrios, he was doing pretty good on the outside. Yeah, like, he couldn't really get inside, and if he did, he's gonna lose that battle every time. So Romero don't have any of that, in my opinion. Like, no. He's not a great outside boxer. He's not a great inside boxer. He's just, he tries to be physical with you, overpower you, catch you with a left hook or things like that. But I think he's just gonna get caught, man. Yeah, it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be a nasty KO again.
Yeah, I just did not see much from Romero. And even when the fight initially got announced, I didn't understand why it got announced. I just thought it was due to not hometown like favoritism, but like an inner gym rivalry type thing under like Mayweather Promotions. Because this guy shouldn't be anywhere, like, to me, And then shout out Eddie Rodriguez here saying Tank's last performance wasn't amazing either. That is correct, Eddie. But Tank did hurt his.
Yeah, people forget he hurt his hand.
Yeah, and then he stopped throwing. I want to say it was either the straight left.
It was left.
Yeah, it was the left.
I mean, yeah, it was his left hand, like his most powerful shot.
Yeah, because around round 5 or round 6, when you rewatch the fight, he's definitely just pawing at the jab. Yeah. And Isaac Cruz, gotta give it to him. He destroyed Gamboa like 2 weeks ago or a month ago. So he definitely wasn't as, I don't know, hyped maybe, or like people didn't know about him. So like he's not that bad. Yeah.
Right. People make it look like he's a bum. Cruz is good. My only thing about him with that Tank fight, I thought he was gonna get the KO because of Cruz's defense.
Mhm.
But he went in there with the perfect game plan. He had the high guard the whole fight, like real nice pocket, picking his spots here and there. So he was real responsible with his defense in that fight, which surprised me. And he made me a fan. He made a lot of people a fan after that fight. But I gotta give Tank, his credit because he fought that whole fight with one hand, basically, well, half of the fight, and still won it. So
Yeah, it was. I mean, it was very close, like 115, 113.
yeah.
I think we're pretty much the consensus judges' scorecards. But this is going to be, I think, a totally different fight. And I mean, I'll be honest, I'm looking online at other books. The
I was
truth
gonna
is,
tell you.
yeah,
You said the over under was 5.5, and the other website I have is a 6.5.
okay.
So yeah, it's weird.
Yeah, but for Tank, this is the best line is actually at mybookie.ag, minus
Yeah,
880. Yeah.
yep. Because I was
Because
gonna say I think it was minus 1,200, minus
yeah,
1,400.
I'm seeing minus 1,200, minus 1,300 pretty much everywhere else. So if you like Tank Davis, you got to go to mybookie.ag, enter that promo code PUBSPORTS because that's a very, I mean, it's not great, obviously. You still land so much, but, that's a fair line. With that being said, I guess we can roll right into best bet here if you'd like. I think I know where you're going. I'm pretty sure you know where I'm going to be going. Danny,
Yeah, you're going.
you go
uh,
first.
I'm laughing because I know Preston was probably looking at the tape from Romero, and he's praying like, "Please, you'll show me something that you got a shot, so I could bet you because I
Yeah,
hate Tank Davis."
yeah, it was fantastic. Man.
And then he's like, "Nah, I can't. I can't even bet on
No,
this guy." But my best bet for this one, I'm gonna take I like taking those risks, man. And I think because usually Tank Davis, he starts out slow. He likes, picking his spots, trying to calculate his opponent and their tendencies. But since I think there is real bad blood in this one, and like I said, this is his last fight on the contract, I think he's gonna come in here and try and make a statement. I'm gonna take a shot at rounds 4, 5, and 6. I got it at plus 250. I'm gonna sprinkle that. I think he gets a KO around those rounds 4, 5, or 6. If you're that type of better, I think it's gonna happen. KO is just win. I think it happens middle fight. So if you want to sprinkle that 4, 5, 6 plus 250, and then sprinkle around 7, 8, 9, I think it's like plus 300. You still make out if it hit one of those hits.
yeah, I like that quite a bit. I'm trying to look here. So the cheapest Tank by KO is minus 300. I agree. Romero's just his boxing ability in general is not there to where Tank's gonna get clean, solid shots.
Ooh, hold up! Somebody in the comments said Fade Davis too much pressure on Tank. Are you taking a shot, Romero?
I'm not. I mean, if this was anyone with a monochrome of boxing skill, maybe, but not this guy, not Rolando Romero. I like Tank here. I actually like what you said, 4, 5, 6, probably the most too, because the round props 5.5, 6.5.
Yeah.
Romero is not the guy for me to beat Tank Davis, especially right now. Tank just has he's just he's powerful. Like he stopped Barrios. Barrios was up at 140. This is back to his more natural weight class.
Keith Thurman didn't stop him at 147. Barrios.
No, and
So that,
Barrios was
that's
like walking through Thurman shots too.
right. So that shows you.
Yeah, and Danny knows I don't think Tank Davis is that good at all.
Yeah.
But the one thing I won't discredit him for is his power. He has devastating knockout power. It's the matter of, and it kind of is good. I think it's going to bite him in the ass personally, leaving Mayweather Promotions because
You think so?
Yeah, I think he's going to have to fight these top guys now.
That's what we want to see, though, right? I mean, he might.
I do.
That's what I want to
He's
see.
going to get exposed. But I mean, for his career, I think it's pretty dumb. I don't think he beats any of the top guys. I think he loses to Haney. I think he loses to Cambosis. I think
he beats Ryan Garcia.
Garcia, he is hittable, but Garcia is a much better boxer. That'd be a very good fight. That's
the ones I want to see, man.
Yeah, I think that actually would happen. But Garcia's going to fight Cruz, right? Is that the next one?
Yeah, but did you see the last couple of tweets and stuff? Supposedly now it's not like happening. Which I'm
No.
not surprised, bro. You know how
Yeah.
I am with Ryan Garcia. It's always, oh yeah, I'm gonna fight the best. I'm gonna fight this guy. I'm gonna fight that other guy, and it never happens. You
Yeah.
got
No.
Twitter fingers.
Yeah, and yeah, he bitches about not being active enough, but then he's doing all these YouTuber videos with,
Yeah,
Jake Paul, Logan Paul, and all those people. So yeah, that doesn't shock me at all. But yeah, no, I mean, this will be good. Tank's last fight. Wish it wasn't a pay-per-view fight, which definitely stinks, but he's now a pay-per-view quality fighter, I guess. So yeah, I like where Danny was at. I'm going to go best bet Tank Davis 4 through 6, plus
let's
250.
go.
I
We're on the
like
same
that
page.
too. I just don't see Romero having enough offense to get Tank off him. And then I think he's just going to dirty the fight. And then I think it's just going to take one of those looping overhand lefts,
Yeah,
and Romero's going to go night night because the
there
guys he
you go.
was fighting were awful. Like they were so bad that I don't know. I just can't see it. Maybe this isn't B-Vol versus Canelo here. You know,
Right, right,
like
right.
like this is to me damn near tailor-made fight for Tank Davis to go out on, and yeah, I think he's gonna knock him out. This shouldn't be on pay-per-view. This should be a regular Showtime fight. But Tank 4 through 6 best bet. That's where I'm going.
Yes, sir. We're on the same page, man. Eddie said, let me see. Addict said he has to make it a street fight to have a chance, and he's talking about Romero. I agree. I mean, I like that point deduction, man. I might sprinkle that, see what the odds are. Um, Eddie Rodriguez says, I honestly don't see this fight making it past 5. That's my gut feeling. Me too, man. I won't be surprised if Tank gets this done in the first. It all depends about him. If he comes
Yeah,
in here and starts fast, which he usually starts slow, but I can see him, switching his game plan. He's coming in here and just swinging right, like, making it a war early. And like I said, Steph said too much pressure on Tank, Fade Davis. I honestly don't think there's a lot of pressure on him. Honestly, that's
no,
just
I
me. What do
mean
you think about that?
Mayweather and even Leonard Ellerbe have made it sound like it's a pretty amicable split. Like there's no, you know, they're not saying any like bad words about Tank. They did what they could for him. He's like leaving to explore his own options, which is smart because Floyd did the
Right,
same thing. Floyd was it Bob Arum or whoever? He was under someone. He split, and then he got bigger, better fights. He got more money for himself, and he became like a superstar because Floyd wasn't really known till he fought Gotti, maybe Judah. He
right.
wasn't known
Yep.
for a while. So, and Tank's still fairly young, so he has a lot of promise yet. And unfortunately, I think this is a one shot chance for Rolando Romero unless he really surprises me
For sure.
or the tape lied to me. But from what I saw, I don't think this guy's a worthy adversary at all.
Yeah, Alex said I'm gonna group up the Brown props for 6 plus 330 and the point deduction. That's gonna be some crazy odds, and you can sprinkle that, man. That's why I love those bets because you don't gotta put much on it and you get a big return. And then Eddie earlier said Haney versus Cambosos is gonna be fire. Hell yeah, I love that fight. That
Yeah.
fight to me is kind of under the radar because a lot of people don't like Haney, and I get it because he's kind of boring to watch. But I appreciate good defense and good footwork and things like that. I think that's going to be a chess match. We'll see. G said fake. I think he meant fade David. Or fake David getting KO'd. Sit up under 6 rounds.
Yeah, so I don't know if you can tell. My screen froze, so I can't see anything right now.
Oh, really?
But I am still
Ooh.
able to communicate. But yeah, no, I like Tank here. I like Tank here 4 through 6. I believe next week is actually gonna be the Haney Cambosis fight. I believe June 7th, right, or June 6th.
I think so. I
Yeah,
don't remember the day exactly.
I believe it's next week is the Haney Cambosis fight. I think that's on ESPN or ESPN Plus. So we will definitely be back here to break down that fight. As always, guys, if you want to, you can go to Prize Picks. enter promo code PUBSPORTS. You'll get $100 deposit bonus match up to $100 first time deposit. Go at Prize Picks. They should have this fight up there, and if they do, I will look at Tank round prop minutes under, and then Tank fantasy score over. Because if he does get the KO like we presume, I think that should go over. So, yeah, as always, go to Prize Picks, promo code PUBSPORTS. We can close it out on a best bet. I think me and Danny are in complete agreement here. Danny, I'll let you go first.
Yeah, I already booked it actually. I got it at plus 250, and I think somebody in the chat said plus 330, which is a great number. Rounds 4, 5, and 6 for Tank Davis to get the KO. I think it gets it done mid-fight, man. And then people in the chat still talking. They're saying Eddie Rodriguez says Tank also had 2 training camps to prepare for Roddy. The first being, canceled, and that's true. That's true, man. He had a lot of time to focus on Roddy, and Romero obviously had a lot of court issues and things like that. So, what else? G said Tank does best when he's pushing guys back on the ropes. That's facts. I agree. I think it's just a matter of time, man. He's gonna catch him. I already said knock on this one. Mills was talking about Roman and Fulton. That's gonna be a good fight.
Yeah.
Fulton had, you remember that fight? Fulton, his last fight, Fulton had a Mexican boxer, and the Mexican boxer thought he got robbed. He's pressuring him the whole time and things like that. I thought Fulton had the better shots. He slightly won in my opinion, but a lot of people were just saying that he lost that fight. But
yeah, I want to maybe – is that one in San Antonio? I know San Antonio was getting a couple fights coming up.
So
yeah, so maybe Jeff will stop by, or maybe we can make the trip down. We'll see. So yeah, no, those are good. Again, appreciate all the chat, all the commenters, everyone who joined us tonight. That's awesome. Make sure to tune into in actually 2 minutes. We have another show coming on, the Nightcap. Bunch of live betting, NBA tonight, Stanley or hockey playoffs, baseball betting. That's coming up in 2 minutes on Pub Sports Radio called the Nightcap. So tune into that one. We will see you guys next week. We have Haney Cambosis. I am marking that down because I'm pretty sure that's what it is. So we'll see you guys next week. This was the main event on Talkin Hands. I'm Preston. That's Danny. Peace.